Hi team, welcome to part 2. We're going to look a little bit into your mobility today. Had to make a couple of assumptions of things that we can focus on just based on things that, are issues that a lot of people have. The first one that we're going to look at is thoracic mobility. So that's your upper spine, and then also we're going to look at a little bit of the ankles as well. If our upper spine, our T-spine or thoracic spine doesn't move very well, it means that we have to put all that force into our shoulders, and that's a massive impact for shoulder injuries in tennis. Other thing, everyone has banged up knees. I see all that armor you have on your knees when you're playing. If we don't move our ankles very well, again, there's less places to put all that force, and it all has to go through our knee. Really big thing that people do poorly with mobility is just stretching. Stretching your muscles isn't very beneficial by itself, because what happens if you stretch and then sit down, everything just goes and settles back into that old range of motion. I'm going to take you through my general approach, which is smash, so foam roll, any sort of release work, stretch it, so that's more of your traditional static stretching, and then loading it as well. Loading it through a new range of motion, so you've got neuromuscular control over those muscles. So first of all is our thoracic spine, right? The foam roller behind me here is sitting just underneath my shoulder blades at the moment, and all I'm going to do is roll back and forth ever so slightly on here, right? Now there's two ways you can approach this. The first is the one that I'm doing just here, crossing my arms in front of us. So I feel that doing it this way, I can actually feel getting into those muscles a little bit more. The alternative way is to put our arms overhead while we do this as well. Now that's moving us more through our active range of motion. So I might go up here and overhead. And I'm going to work through this range of motion while I'm rolling as well. Now a big mistake people make is they go and try and get the arms all the way overhead. And you can see here I'm rounding through my lower back when I do that. Keep our right leg to cue ribs down while we're doing this, so that we know that that extra mobility, that extra range of motion is coming from our thoracic spine. Go and do this for about 60 seconds. Again, whichever one you feel works the best for you. I quite like this one. Now from here, we're going to go on to our static stretching, all right? Remember, these things all work together. Going to get yourself a stick, a broom, whatever it is, and we're going to grip this with our palms facing towards us. We're going to find, again, you can do this at home on your bed, your couch, whatever it might be. Going to chuck our elbows on this bench, and I'm going to try and drop my chest through the hole that I'm creating with my body. So elbows go on here. Get some space here from my hips, and I try and drop my chest through that hole as I'm bringing the stick to the back of my head. Really focus on your breathing, especially in these static stretches, right? And every time you exhale, see if you can get a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper. We're going to do this for about 60 to 90 seconds. And when you're about halfway, we're going to come up and take a big breath. And see if we can't get a little bit more out of that range of motion. Now, our third portion of this one is our pressing, right? So getting our arms overhead is really important, and our thoracic mobility is going to aid us with that. So pretty simple, we don't really need to load it that much. Obviously, if you can press 100 kilos overhead, you might do this with 10 kilos to help you get some of that resistance, but a stick's fine. Here, gonna press up and overhead, chest through the hole. So here in front of us, and we're gonna press up, thinking about sliding our shoulder blades up and down our back. So this is that working that new range of motion that we've got through our thoracic spine. If my thoracic spine didn't move when I was trying to do this, I'd be somewhere like here, and I could only press up to about here. Watch now, as soon as I free up my T-spine, way better. This is especially relevant for your serving arm as well. I see a lot of people come up, throw the ball up, arm up, and it kind of comes around the side to be able to hit it, all right? Nice, good overhead mobility is going to get that serving game on point. All right, so these are our calves now. Again, we're gonna follow that same routine of smash, stretch, and roll. So pretty straightforward. First of all, get your backs of your shins on a foam roller. Post your hands on the ground. You're just gonna lift your butt up. Cool? So that's gonna help us put a little bit more weight through that foam roller. And then if that's too easy still, you can cross over. So you've got all your weight on one leg. Back and forth. And if you find a bit it's really quite tight, you can just roll on there as well. All right, so we're gonna hit both of those. I like to hit them separately because it makes me focus a little bit more on making sure I'm really getting in there. That bit right there. Then we're gonna move on to our stretch, same as we just did before. We're gonna hop up, find a wall, whatever, and we're just gonna put our toes up against it. So toes up off the ground, heel on the ground, and then I'm going to bring my torso in, and that's going to create that tension down the back of this leg. So same process with the last one, 60 to 90 seconds. You should be feeling that change as well. And about halfway through, come out and breathe into it. You can hug yourself in nice and close to get a real deep stretch here if you can. Again, same thing with the last one. Breathing, breathing, breathing right throughout. Then we're going to load it. We're going to do our calf raises again. Really important. We're trying to get through that negative range of motion as well. Our heels below our feet. I'm going to do them single today. And you can hold on to something if you need to as well. That's no worries. A little bit of stability is helpful. So we're going to go here and just up, hold and down. Up, hold, and down. About 15 to 20 of these. You can get quite a lot of volume in your calf raises before you start to fatigue. And so what we've done there is we've stretched out that calf muscle. We've smashed it first, stretched it out, and then we're starting to load that range of motion that we're increasing by doing this to our ankles, okay? So there you go, a couple of easy mobility things that you can work on in your own time. Nice and short so you can tuck them in at home. Again, there's a couple of assumptions made there on the things that are relevant to you. And there's a couple of different ways to tackle those things as well. But try those ones out. And if you find that you're not getting any joy with them and you know that's a problem area, let me know and we can find something that's a little bit more specific to you.